أهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم في اللقاء الثاني مع جناب القسيس ميكي هاردي من موريشيوس، مؤسس فريق CTMI الذي يعمل في أكثر من 50 دولة حول العالم، والذي سوف يقيم مؤتمر في الإسكندرية في مصر للقادة والقساوسة في 26 و 27 مارس. يسعدني ويشرفني أن أقيم مع حضرتك اللقاء الثاني، وسوف نتحدث في هذا الموضوع عن أمر هام جدا وهو يخص الكنيسة، ويتحدث عن التحديات التي تواجهها الكنيسة بخصوص التعاليم الزائفة التي تقدم داخل الكنيسة.
Well, it is evident, and it is written in the Word of God. I think we all agree that we are living in the last days and that Jesus is coming soon. We don't know when, but certainly not in another century. So we are living in these days, and Jesus prophesied it. The apostles in their writings prophesied it. So it is evident that the rise of false teachings is going to be manifested. And we can see it. We can hear it everywhere. And it is affecting the church because it's drawing the church to things that are not scriptural. So there is this prosperity message that has invaded the church, and that message has brought the church to deviate completely from the foundation of Christianity. So that's why we want, wherever we go, and do build conferences to address this problem. It is an international problem, and it has affected the church so widely and deeply that it is very important for us to make known about the false teachers, the false teachings, so that it can open the door for us to bring the church back to the foundation of the church, the real message of the cross for the Christian, which the church has completely forgotten, unfortunately, because false doctrine draws the church far from the foundation of the church.
في مقدمة المحادثة الثانية مع جناب القسيس ميكي هاردي، وهو موضوع التعاليم الزائفة داخل الكنيسة، والذي سوف يتناوله هذا المؤتمر. سيكون أحد موضوعات هذا المؤتمر ويتكلم عن التعاليم الزائفة داخل الكنيسة. جناب القسيس، كيف ترى حال الكنيسة هذه الأيام؟
Well, the thing is that, let's, for example, when you look at the prosperity message, which talks about seeking personal gain, seeking riches, and instead of running the race to grow spiritually and to serve the Lord. So that's where the problem lies. So this message, in fact, feeds the flesh and draws the people of God away from seeking spiritual things. Paul is very clear in Colossians chapter 3 when he tells the Colossians, you must seek for spiritual things and not for material things, the things above and not the things on this earth. But unfortunately, this message is deadly. It has brought the church to completely deviate for the real purpose that Jesus has established. We are called to be saved and to grow and to come to the perfect knowledge of Christ and in the image of Christ.
وأنا بترجم لحضرتك مؤتمر بيلت، لاحظت أن حضرتك كنت بتتكلم عن إنجيل الرخاء، ولاحظت أن حضرتك بتقول أن هذا التعليم تسلل إلى الكنيسة، ممكن تشارك حضرتك لجناب المشاهدين اللي بيشاهدوا معانا ما تأثير إنجيل الرخاء على الكنيسة اليوم؟
So, to answer fully your question, the message of the cross is clearly the only message that can bring Christians to spiritual growth and spiritual maturity. Let me give you my testimony. I was preaching the gospel without any spiritual maturity and spiritual growth in my life. But when this message came, it brought not only stability, but it brought me to give my life. It brought me to deny myself and to accept what the Lord wanted to do in my life. So what did it bring? Spiritual maturity, growth. That's why the message of the cross is the most important message that can bring a man to humble himself and to be ready to accept what the Lord wants to do in him. We cannot change the definition of the cross, unfortunately. It's talking about suffering, death, and resurrection. So this is part of our lives, so that we really identify our lives with Jesus. This is why he said clearly, I am going to the cross, but now you also will have to take your cross. So that's clear for me that if we take up our cross, we are going to be true and real disciples of Christ.
في ضوء الارتباك اللي سببه هذا التعليم، تعليم إنجيل الرخاء، حضرتك تؤمن بإيه؟ ما هو التعليم الذي يجب أن يرجع المؤمنين إلى الحق وإلى التعليم الصحيح بحسب كلمة الله؟
The gospel, the New Testament, has never changed. I remember when I first got born again, there was a message that brought me to surrender my life and to accept everything. But we know that the charismatic move had come, great things happened, great miracles, wonderful time, but suddenly, slowly but surely, it deteriorated. And the message of faith again towards material prosperity, this has started to come and dilute the message of the cross. To the point where we are today, and it's a reason why we want to go out and preach and bring this message, is that the church has lost the life of the Spirit.
في حوار النهاردة بيعلمنا أن نرجع إلى رسالة الصليب، وإحنا بندعوك بشكل شخصي كقائد أن تكون جزء من مؤتمر بيلد، مؤتمر ابني الذي سوف يذاع مباشرة على قناة الكرمة. شكرا لكم.